I gotta tell you, new Jeeps are for sissies. It's like, I was looking at this new stuff, and I was like saying to myself, why are people bitching about Jeeps? And I was looking at, like, when I grew up, what the Jeep was like, adventure, toughness, hit the trail, you know, singular, risking your life, that type of garbage. It wasn't about comfort. It wasn't about, you know, bitching about some of the smallest things out there. People like are even bitching about not having power windows. Now me, I'm thinking roll down windows is a real luxury in a Jeep. This thing, that's a Suzuki. It's an SJ413. It's 1 year prior to the Samurai, and it's actually squirrelier to drive than a Samurai because it's got 3.5 inches more narrow track to it. You know, it's like you can flip easier than a Samurai. And I've been driving this for 30 years though, you know, so far it's still good luck. And the deal is though, you know, compared to a CJ5, the CJ5 will ride like a luxury vehicle compared to this thing. A CJ7 rides like a Cadillac compared to a CJ5. Now I got nothing against a CJ7, but with the newest Jeeps out there, God, they are overly complex. The dashboards, even like if you're looking behind the instrumentation with all the traction control, stability control, air pressure, tire monitoring control, like the shifters are not manual gear selector shifters to go into gear for the transfer case. It's like a lot of stuff is push button. I don't know, and power steering. Power steering's not a bad thing, I think, when you got big tires, though. But you know, when I got this little Suzuki thing, I was comparing it to an M151 military Jeep. This is before the Hummer. Those things, you can go 20 miles an hour and flip them over because there was no stabilizer bar in the front. If you hit the brakes and made a sharp turn at the same time, even at 20 miles an hour, you can flip it. And there was things happen on base where like a guy was driving, an officer, and he tried to avoid somebody in traffic, and they both died because the thing flipped on a dime. Now even this little Suzuki or any Jeep, you know, that has a stabilizer bar in the front, to me is, you know, right there, it's 100 times more safe. Then the old stuff had drum brakes. This has got front disc brakes, but no, you know, no ABS, no stability control. And you know, if I was going to get something that was I consider luxurious, it wouldn't be it would be a CJ7. That would be the most I would go. And if I had roll down windows, boy, I'd be like, wow. Air conditioning, oh, super air, wow, you know. But that's it. I don't see any use for having all this other garbage that people are bitching about these new Jeeps. Like, you know, what do they expect, man? I mean, these people, I don't even know what the hell they're even buying, looking at a Jeep for if they're going to be that ridiculous. Well, I was just thinking that some of the people that if they're complaining about, you know, some of the noise in a Jeep or how fast it goes or whatever, I don't even know why they're buying one because, you know, the Jeep is really designed to be off-road. It's and you're going to be out there on the trail or roughing it or whatever you're using it for, like a farm implement or for construction. I don't know what the heck you're even buying one for if you're bitching about those kind of features. Now, one thing I wish they would do with a new Jeep is come out with an all-aluminum body. I know there's a place up in Canada that makes an all-aluminum body for these Suzukis and stuff, you know, which that probably would be an ultimate vehicle, all-aluminum body, and a Samurai, or with a Volkswagen diesel. I know it's foreign, but, you know, it's really the 1.6 diesel, and you can run on vegetable oil with the aluminum body would be, plus being extra lightweight, that would be the ticket. Now, on the new Jeep, one thing I was thinking too, you know, they keep saying you can personalize it, but I think the base price for the cheapest one is around $25,000, $26,000. Then you got to add sailor's tax, dealer prep, whatever, destination charges, and all the other garbage, you know. It's probably going to run you like $27,000 or $28,000 easy, right? Without no options, which you don't really need options, but then you might want a rear locker for one, right? Now, if you go for that, you're going to get in another model. And if you're going to upgrade the damn thing, I almost think, why the hell buy a new one? Why not just get an older one that somebody already upgraded? Now, what I was thinking is, if I do get a Jeep, and I'm kind of like not thinking about it too much because this little Suzuki probably, I hate to admit it because it's foreign, does a lot because it's basically like an old Willys, you know, except it's got overdrive in it, and it's got a front stabilizer bar, but it's about the same dimensions as an old Willys, except the body's like the consistency of a beer can. But it's lightweight, it floats over sand. But what I was thinking, if I get an older one, I get a CJ5 or CJ7, before the computer, like a 19, if I get a 7, it would be one of those earlier ones, 76 to 80. And, I would, you know, maybe I would change out, put a better ignition system in, maybe a more modern one, and have the points and carburetor as a backup. And, you know, you might get the fuel economy from that, as long as you don't go with really, really big tires and stuff, you know. But, you know, that's how I really don't really think you need it. You know, I think a lot of people get sold on marketing hype. Vinyl is bullshit, because I found this stupid little stock Suzuki thing. This thing does so much garbage. I couldn't believe it, man. I used to take it out on the trail a lot, and it's amazing what this damn thing can do. But you know, people, I don't know, you know, when you're Jeep actually itself is trying to you know, go along with what the market demands are. And I'm looking at it like this. I'm like, God, you know, these people don't even want a Jeep. Or it's like the generation of today is so far different from what the generation was in 1972. In 1972, they're showing a couple guys, or a guy and a girl, driving a Jeep CJ5, wheels up off the air, you know, like I think they might have had a lap belt on, you know, it's flying up in the air, doors are off, the roof is off, you know, go anywhere, venture, you know, they don't care, you know what I mean? Today, they'd never roll that commercial in a million years, man. Not ever. And that was the mentality, man. You weren't getting a Jeep to be like whining about some instrument, what's on the instrument panel, or some garbage about how fast it went or how much noise it did or whatever, man. I can't believe these people whining about. I don't even know why the hell they're even buying one, man. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't even make sense. I mean, they're looking for a car. That's what they're looking for. So Jeep itself is trying to make it their Jeep into a car, make it look like a Jeep. That's what they're doing. So I don't know. I think it's just that upcoming generations are losing more and more toughness as each generation goes along. The boomers look bad compared to the generation before them, but that, you know, the generation today is even worse.